here for everybody. I mean, obviously, our difficulties are nowhere near compared to what people are going through that are battling that disease and also lost loved ones. And most of all, you think about all the people unemployed, lost their jobs. So, losing the basketball season, yes, it disappointed me. Certainly, it hurt because I love the game so much. And not to have March Madness was a blow big time. However, saying all that, if that's the worst thing that can happen to us all, we're very lucky. But that led me in the conversations with my buddy Dick Weiss, who's a Hall of Famer and a guy that's a guru for college sports. We were talking on the phone, and Howie Schwab, a research expert. And I just said, you know what? We should have some fun here. And it was really, to me, like therapy to sit down and talk about what could have been possibly. It's all fantasy, it's all dreaming. And that's what we did. We put that together, had some fun putting it together. And we came out with who we thought would win the national championship, and we gave our reasons why. And certainly down there, Florida State, I think they would be smiling. So the bottom line is too. Also, I think many of you might know if you follow me on Twitter /DickieV, you've seen me post often. Nothing more important to me in my life right now than raising money to help kids battle cancer. I've been very blessed in my life. I've been lucky, as you can see right behind me. I'm looking up there now, the Hall of Fame and all that. All those things have been great in my life, and they've happened because I've had a great team around me. And I just want to give back. I mean, I'm 81 years old, man. I act about 12, and I feel I have the energy of a 25-year-old. And you're not going to believe this. I just 20 minutes ago came in, showered real quickly. I played singles today against a young lady, just like the young lady sitting here. I play all these young ladies because, number one, I used to play the guys. And the minute I walk on the court is, hey, what about Carolina's struggling? What about Duke? How come I play tennis? And it's all that. So I told the guy in charge, I said, do me a favor. Get me people that don't follow us in basketball, and let me just go play tennis. And I played recently with a woman. She says, do you work? I said, yeah, I still work. And she said, what do you do? And it was great to hear that because usually it's over there, got to get an autograph for this one, get a picture for this one. And I said, man, I like you already. I said, we could just play. She had no idea who I was. But anyway, I just got off the tennis court. And we just had my virtual gala, which Leonard has been so good with us. We honored him one year. And I have a gala every year that raises money for kids battling cancer. I can't begin to tell you. I get goosebumps when I think about it. We raised with a virtual gala for kids at the V Foundation $7.4 million this year. $7.4 million. Think about that number. Because people, I think, all of us, whether you're a parent, grandparent, or a godchild, whatever, everybody has a child somewhere, and if a cousin, aunt, kids, there's nothing worse than seeing a kid going through the battling cancer. I had as my guest, Chuck, if you remember, I brought a youngster down for the Florida State. I believe it was against Duke. Might have been Duke or Louisville, I'm not sure. But we brought him down. He was a youngster from my area. I mean, the most good-looking kid, if you remember him, Chuck, 12 years old. Leonard knew him from my gala. And ready for this? He did 1,200 doses of chemotherapy. Think about that. 1,200 doses of chemotherapy. Blows my mind. But he's in remission now, and he got such a thrill that we took him to the game and met all the players and was on the court before the game. So to me, that is my life calling right now, helping kids battling that disease. And I will tell you this. We've raised so far $37 million since we started the gala, and this year we have our big one on May 7th. We hope we have it live. But that's been important to me. And every dollar, guys, and ladies, if you can do me a favor and promote the book in any way, I'd appreciate it. In the book, you'll see pictures of youngsters that either were at my gala or their families were at my gala who lost their lives to cancer. And I dedicate the book to them. And every dollar that I would make, every dollar that I would get from the sale of the book is going into my Jimmy V Foundation, the V Foundation for Cancer Research, and helping kids battle cancer. And if people want to get it, where I know, for example, that the money comes to us for cancer research if they buy it at dickvitale.com.
Hey, Dick, thanks for doing this, by the way, taking the time. At what point last season when you watched Florida State did you think they could be a team that could maybe win it all?
Well, what I love about their team is, I had them against Louisville. believe it, my memories. Chuck, Louisville game was on the road, right? Did you beat Louisville on the road?
No, that was at home, February 24th.
You never played them on the road last year?
We beat them in Louisville on January 4th.
Yeah, I did the game. And that was well, to his question, that is the time when I mentally left there and said, this team can beat anybody. You go down to Louisville, beat them on their floor. I mean, their defense was so effective. And I think the one quality they had, very difficult to prepare for Florida State, because you didn't know who was going to hurt you. You had no idea. Every game you could say, well, you can't match up on Vassell may hurt us. Forrest can hurt us. You got Patrick Williams coming off the bench. I mean, they had so many weapons on a given game. So that versatility, and Leonard does a great job in using all that talent. You know what he reminds me of? I swear to God, the way he uses his roster, nobody will make this analogy, but I thought about this today. Kevin Cash with the Rays. You don't know who's going to be with the Rays, who's going to be in that lineup. And by the way, they better win tonight, because I don't want to face Mr. Cole in Game 5. I mean, the $320 million man. It's time to wrap it up. I'm praying, man. I got all my Rays stuff here. I threw out the first pitch. I don't know if you know this or not. They had me throw out the first pitch virtually for their first game against Toronto. And they won. And I told them then, the last time I threw out the first pitch in the playoffs was against the Red Sox. And they went to the World Series that year. So I'm hoping and praying, but I don't want to take my chances with Mr. Cole. I swear to God. So I'm hoping they can get him today. But, I think Kevin Cash does a great job in that respect, like Leonard does. They use their people. I could never understand how coaches can give scholarships to kids. You recruit kids like crazy, you're 9th man, 10th man, whatever. You recruit them, and you don't use them at all during the course of a game. Give them. I had a rule when I coached. I would tell my guys, you're never going to know who's my 6th man. So, man, you better be ready to play. I would surprise in games. What does it hurt in the second quarter or second period when we play quarters at 7.5? But the bottom line, inserting a kid, giving him a couple of minutes and keep the bench hungry, knowing I better be ready because I don't know when he's going to call. He may call me in. You don't know. Like, I never know who the Rays have in their lineup. Look at this one. This guy's hitting DH. Then it's Brousseau. Then it's this guy. Who's playing first? I know one thing, though. Wherever they got that guy, Azarina? Randy Azarina for the Rays. A Rosarina, isn't it? A Rosarina? He's been off the charts, man. Whoever they stole him from, thank you, Cardinals, for giving us to him.
Listen, as I was listening to Dick, you got to understand, I remember, he doesn't remember this because I was in all, as an assistant coach at Austin Peay, and I was kind of like a fly on the wall, and Dick was always nice to me. He was always, a lot of the guys, when you're at Austin Peay and you're young, you're 23, 24 years old, and they kind of brushed you off, but Dick was always nice to me. His wife was always nice to me, and I always remembered that. And I'd be sitting back watching him, and he'd be holding court now, and people be listening to him. But he'd always, encourage me. He probably didn't remember that, and it meant an awful lot to me. But Dick's been that way about the game. His passion is unparalleled, and there's no question in my mind he has done as much as anybody in the history of college basketball to make it fun and exciting and informational all at the same time. He's extremely knowledgeable. I remember listening to Dick when he used to give talks at 5-Star, and I was amazed how he could be so thorough and be so consistent and informational and motivating to our guys, and never had a note in front of him. I mean, I had to write things down, look at my cards. He'd be rattling off stats and names and situations, and it was so inspiring. He'd be walking around. He would never stand still, and he had your attention, and those kids were hanging on every word that he said. I would be sitting in the stands, and I would just be amazed. And so as he got through coaching, though, and moved into the announcing realm, he brought that same level of enthusiasm to the TV screen, and I think it's really, really had done a lot for college basketball.
Hey, Leonard, let me just say thank you so much for those kind words. When you mentioned Austin P, I got a great Austin P story. You, if you remember, one year on ESPN early in my career, we were in the studio, Bob Lee and I, and they come to us in the studio and they said, "All right, give us analysis at Illinois and Austin P." Are you kidding me? I said, "Let's not waste time. This is an M&M or a mismatch. Are you kidding me? They have no shot, Austin P. In fact, if they win this game, I'll stand on my head, man, on TV. Are you kidding me?" Unbelievable scores are coming in. They're coming in and they're screaming in my ear, the producer, "You better get ready, man. It looks like me." And sure enough, they upset him. The people lost the P went crazy. They went crazy. I'm standing my head in the studio like an idiot. And I had to pay my price, right? But Leonard, I got the last laugh. You know why I get the last laugh? Nobody knows this, Leonard.
Why is that?
They invited me to be the guest speaker down in Austin V, and the crowd was just great. You know, they were great to me. Let's go P. Let's go P on Dickie V. Let's go. I mean, in their chants, right? And I got the last laugh. They paid me some big bucks to come down here and speak. I want to thank Austin V. They paid for my swimming pool at my house. But no, we've had so much fun, Leonard. You know, when we sit back, and I think you have to feel this way too with your career. Talked about it earlier. You've never been in an easy job. Miami football, Oklahoma State, Florida State. You come in when football was dominant. I mean, dominant. Now, and now you can't say it, but I'll say it. People down at Florida State right now say, "Hey, when is basketball going to start? We got to get into basketball." They're not thinking about Orange Bowls and all right now. I'm sure they'll come back, but the bottom line is it's never come easy, and you've appreciated that because you've busted your gut to get where you're at. And you've always had to fight against the big guys up on top, and you just always battled and never made excuses and alibis.
How quickly were you guys able to move from the disappointment of not getting to play for that tournament to motivation for doing what you hope you can do this year?
Well, like Dick said, we were very matter of fact. We did try not to make any excuses. When we were, I commented to our guys in the locker room that life gives you challenges, and if this was the worst thing gonna happen to them, not being able to play in the ACC tournament, then they consider themselves lucky because there were a lot of people much more less fortunate than them. I told them that we would have opportunity to play more basketball games, but if something impactful would have happened to someone being on the basketball court as a result of us not being careful about giving the respect to this pandemic that we really didn't know how to handle, that it would not be something that we never want to remember. So my guys understood it. They accepted it, and we tried to keep things in perspective. Now we got to go back now and just start preparing for the next year.